You're listening to the Marketing Funnel Show, episode number 15. You should know right up front, it is a rare funnel that works right when it's launched. 99.9% of funnels need a little extra loving to get them working, and that's what we're talking about today. Welcome to the Marketing Funnel Show. I'm your host, Michelle Evans, and this is the podcast for coaches, experts, and online business owners to learn how to go from simply surviving to sold out using the power of marketing funnels. All right, let's jump into today's show. Hey, welcome to today's show. You know what? I was cruising through my Facebook feed the other day, and because of what I do, I get tons and tons of ads and videos and all sorts of things about marketing funnels. And, there's a lot of great people out there talking about marketing funnels, but there are some people who make just crazy promises. I see some of the promises that they're making, and I just jaw on floor, right? I just am like, what are you promising? And then my heart goes out to people who believe them because, they're basically promising, funnels are going to cure absolutely everything that ails you. And I don't know, they're this magical unicorn that's going to deliver every dream that you've ever had. And it just makes me crazy because there's these people running around talking about marketing funnels like they're the be-all, end-all answer to everything in business. And even though that's what my podcast is all about, and I love marketing funnels, I am the first to say they're not. They're not the be-all, end-all to everything in business. Yeah, I'm totally sold on the power of marketing funnels, and I know what they can do for your business, but, and this is a big but, funnels don't just magically work. They actually do take some work. They take some testing. They take some tweaking. They take some patience. They take a real deep understanding of your audience. They take understanding who you're talking to, what their dreams are, and then it takes more testing. And it can be a really frustrating process, especially when it's your first time building a funnel out. And the truth is, I've never actually seen any funnel that works perfectly the moment they're launched. I mean, I've seen funnels that work really well, but there's always something that you can do to tweak it and make it work even better. Because there's always room for improvement. When when real live humans start going through your funnel, you start getting feedback and you start getting ahas and you start seeing, all right, this is what people are paying attention to. This is what people are not paying attention to. Okay, let me try something else. And a lot of times you wouldn't even know what improvements needed to be made until you start getting those real live human beings going through your funnel. And in fact, one of my very favorite quotes, and it's my favorite because it still to this day, I shouldn't say it makes me so uncomfortable, is from Reid Hoffman. And he famously said, if you're not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you have launched too late. And he was one of the people who created LinkedIn and founded LinkedIn. And I gotta say, I read that and I nodded my head, but for a long time, I never practiced that because I would try to get everything perfect behind the scenes before I launched things. But, I would sit on things for a long time, and I don't know if that sounds like you. A lot of people that I talk to, at least, we really want to get things right behind the scenes. We want to try to think through all the scenarios. There are people out there who teach funnels who want you to, if they come in from this lead magnet and then they go to this landing page and then, give them this upsell. And if they don't take that to this downsell, and pretty soon you're just in this huge maze and it's really confusing. And I just think we don't have to be that crazy straight out of the gate. That could be maybe version 18. That doesn't have to be version 1. And I try to just keep going back to Reid Hoffman. If you're not embarrassed by that first version of what you've launched too late. You've waited too long. You've let perfection take over. You've overthought the thing, is kind of how I've, extrapolated that quote and tried to bring it into my business and try to bring it into funnels. And so, sometimes you've just got to launch your funnel. You've just got to get your stuff out there to get feedback so that you can start working on V2 or V3 and start making it work better for you with real life feedback. And, the same goes when I'm in Facebook groups and, God love people, I'm in some really big groups, like I'm in the B School group, I'm in some other groups out there, and people will put up an image for like their logo, or they'll put up an image for a Facebook ad. I really hate it when people do it for Facebook ads because it's so easy to test Facebook ads. And I just am like, and I always, if people do it for Facebook ads, I always give this feedback, like, why don't you just put it up there and test it? See what your market actually thinks. Because the truth is, when you ask people for feedback and they have no skin in the game, like they don't even have to say they don't have to click through and give you their name and email. They don't have to do anything. You're going to get, a bajillion different, just penny for your thoughts kind of insights from people. And I wouldn't even say they're insights. They're just off the cuff opinions. So I'm always all about testing. And when you start getting real feedback back, when you start seeing, all right, this is the video that people are watching the most, or this is the landing page that's converting the best, or this is the headline that's really working the best, or this is the email that's really getting people to click through. That's when you can really start getting some incredible insights into your funnel, into your audience, into what people are really looking for, way beyond what your audience could probably even verbally tell you. So if you were to give them like a questionnaire, or if you were to interview them or something like that, they may not even be able to identify what they really want. But when you start seeing their behavior behind the scenes and start seeing what they really do take action on and what they open and what they pay attention to, boy, you can get some good insights. And that's part of the reason why I love funnels so much, is because when you start seeing, 100 people go through and you start seeing some patterns, you get 1,000 people go through and you start seeing some patterns, you get 10,000 people to go through and you really start seeing some patterns. Pretty soon you really know your audience, and you get to this level where you almost know them better than they know themselves, and you start to feel really comfortable and confident with who you're talking to, and then they feel comfortable and confident. And that's where I want to help you get to. So today I want to dive into 5 really common reasons that funnels flop, because again, I don't want to paint this picture that like a funnel's going to solve everything in your business. I sort of view funnels as the constant dance that you have with your audience. It's this constant like, let me test this and see how my audience reacts to this. Let me see how they react to that. So let's just take a look at what will make your funnel flop and how you can quickly fix those flops so your funnel starts to work like a charm. Because what I don't want you to do is have a funnel flop and start saying something like, oh, I'm not good enough, my audience hates me, this is never gonna work, I should just give up. That's not true. When a funnel flops, it simply means that some part of what you've put together just isn't resonating with your audience. It has nothing to do with if you're good enough, if you're smart enough, or if people like you. I just really need you to take that to heart, because, I've had those thoughts too. And it's just not true. It's just something just isn't working. So let's take a look at these 5 things. And I want you to just make a mental note of these. And I'm putting together just a little checklist that you can download at the end of today's episode. And it'll be in today's show notes, which you can get at themarketingfunnelshow.com/15, just the number 15. And then I just want you to just go through, and if something's not working in your funnel, just go through one by one and say, okay, is it number 1? Is it number 2? Is it number 3? Is it number 4? Is it number 5? So with that, let's dive in. So reason number 1 that funnels flop: you're talking to the wrong people. So this is really one of the biggest issues that I see with funnels, especially with my clients who come to me who have a funnel and want me to do Facebook ads for them. Because I won't do Facebook ads for people who don't have funnels. If you don't have a funnel, please don't run Facebook ads. It's a ginormous waste of money. But when I have people come to me and they say, yeah, I have a funnel, I take a look at what they have, and we start running traffic to it and it's not working. And I've had a lot of people come to me who've spent big money to have somebody else build them like a webinar funnel, or they've gone through a course or something and they've built a funnel, and they come to me and they say, all right, Michelle, help me do some Facebook ads to fill this funnel. And then suddenly, like, the audience just does not convert. And they're going, oh my gosh, my business is going to fall apart. Like, they just start catastrophizing. Like, nothing's going to work. They hate me. I don't know what's going on. And I always say, oh, time out. Okay, first of all, are we talking to the right people? This is always my first question. Because if you know that you have a good offer, but no one's taking action, this is a good place to start. So if this is you, if you know that you've got something that people want first and need, but you're having a really hard time getting them to pay attention to what you're offering, then you might be talking to the wrong people. And I've got to tell you, no matter how brilliant and amazing you are, no matter how great of a copywriter you are, no matter how wonderful of headlines you have, if you're talking to the wrong person, there's almost nothing you can do to attract people who think they don't want or need what you have to offer. You can't convince people that they need you. They need to think that they need you already. They need to know that they have a pain. And I always think of one of the old-timey copywriting books that I've read. And I've read so many, I don't actually remember which one it was from, but it might have been a David Ogilvy quote or something that was like, don't sell them aspirin, sell them a remedy to their headache. Well, you're not going to sell somebody who never has experienced a headache aspirin or a remedy to their headache, right? You can't convince somebody to buy something that they've never experienced. And the same is true for whatever you have. So whatever you have to offer, if somebody doesn't feel like that's a need or that's a pain or that's a desire that I have, you're not going to convince them that they should want that. It doesn't work. Instead, you've got to find people who know that they have that need or that desire or that problem or that pain and talk with them. So you need to know your audience. One of the things you can do is, I always tell people, even if you're not running Facebook ads, even if you've never thought about running Facebook ads, please make sure that you get a Facebook pixel on all of your web properties. And if you don't know how to do that, I will link to a free training that'll show you how to get your Facebook pixel and put it on your site. Because one of the really cool things about Facebook is that you can do these things where you can find lookalike audiences of people who are coming to your site. So if somebody comes to your website and reads your blog post, for example, or opts into your lead magnet, well, clearly they're interested in what you're doing. So you could theoretically go find more people just like them. And those are probably more of the right people versus saying like women 30 to 50. Well, women 30 to 50 could be moms, they could be grandmas, they could be single, they could be married, they could be, whatever. They could be homeowners, they could be renters, they could be, I hate to live in one spot and just want to travel the world. Like, they could be any number of people. And so it's really hard to just target people by age group and gender versus a specific thing that they're looking for. And so it's really great to get that Facebook pixel on your site and to start building out some lookalike audiences. You can also find out where they hang out. When I am working with my Facebook ad clients, I always go in and do a pretty extensive audit. And when I go into the Facebook Business Manager, I can go into the back end and really do some extensive looking at their audiences. So I can upload their email list and I can take a look at, who's in their email list and what the characteristics are. I can take a look at who's liked their page. I can take a look at their traffic. Like, I can do a ton of stuff. And then another place, once you get some of those insights, you can take that and you can do some research on places like Ubersuggest or Suvl or BuzzSumo to just get some more information about where do these people actually hang out? What are they talking about? Where can I find my audience who's really interested in what I have to say so that you can really target the right people? All right, so that's problem number one. Problem number two that can really make your funnel flop is that you're moving too fast. This is a big problem that I see a lot. So a lot of times we're so close to our subject matter. We have the curse of knowledge and we just fire hose people with so much detail, so many insights that we just overwhelm people because we want to help them. And it totally kills our sales. It totally kills our funnels. It totally kills everything about what we're trying to do for them. There's a book that I often recommend to people called Great Leads. It's a really fast read. It's not a hard read at all. And it's called Great Leads, The 6 Easiest Ways to Start Any Sales Message by Michael Masterson and John Ford. I highly recommend this book, and I'll link to it in today's show notes along with everything else that I've talked about, like Ubersuggest, Suvl, BuzzSumo, and the training to get the Facebook pixel on your site. But this book, Great Leads, is a super short read and highly valuable with tons of examples to showcase the idea of taking people through this customer journey. So they introduce, these different customer levels. And a lot of times what we do is our customers are back at level 4. So they're thinking about, gosh, I have a headache, or I keep getting headaches in the afternoon. And we're like, hey, I have Excedrin, like the headache medicine. Let me tell you about all the benefits of Excedrin, the headache medicine. But they're not ready to hear about that. They need us to come back a little bit and say, hey, are you getting headaches every afternoon? And they'd go, why, yes, I am. Tell me about what that is. And instead, we just want to go in and say, here's all the benefits and features of what we have to offer. And they're just not ready. That's moving too fast. That's a really simplistic one. And, we've all heard about Excedrin or aspirin or Tylenol or whatever a bajillion times. So it's probably not a good one because we know what those ones are. But, if I were to just go into talking in depth about funnels with people, I would fire hose them and kill them. And the same goes with you. And I talk a lot of times when I do reviews of people's funnels, especially if I'm doing one for a Facebook ad client and their funnel's not converting, oftentimes it's because they're moving too fast. They're not taking people on a journey and warming them up so they're not connecting at the early phase, warming them up in the middle phase, and then offering the sale. They're trying to go straight from, if you think about, driving around your town, and sometimes you see those people on the street corner who are waving signs for tax preparation or pizza delivery or, furniture stores or whatever. They're going straight from that with their lead magnet, like, hey, come in and, see what I have to offer to buy my stuff right now, right? It just doesn't work like that. You can't go straight from, hey, I have this great lead magnet to get my stuff right now. It just doesn't work like that. You've got to build the trust. You have to connect with people. You have to take them on this journey. And that's why I really recommend this book, because it talks to you about the different levels that customers go through and how it's really important to move them through that so that you can go from, people barely knowing about what you offer all the way to they really want what you have to offer. And most funnels skip over that middle part, and that's why they flop. They forget to warm people up. They go straight from the street corner to buy my stuff now, and they lose people in the middle. All right, reason number 3, your funnel's way too complicated. So there are people out there, and I know because I've signed up and seen what they have to offer, that try to tell you that funnels have to be super duper complicated. And I'm here to tell you they don't have to be. And in fact, I think that you're better off not making them complicated. When you're first testing a funnel, when you're first getting started, it's way better to just keep it simple. That way you'll be able to quickly tell what's going on, what's going wrong, and you'll be able to fix it. You can always make things more complicated down the road, but to start out, you just keep it simple and straightforward. So get something super simple that's working, then add on. Try to construct, just figure out what it is that you're trying to do, drive towards, and construct a really simple, straightforward solution that takes people from, if you're thinking about the person on the street corner waving a sign trying to get you to pull your car into the parking lot and give their store a try. Like, get people to stop and give you a try, warm them up a bit, and take them through your funnel. Try to make that as simple as possible. Don't, add in all sorts of bells and whistles and craziness. So when I see these people who are saying, all right, get them a lead magnet, then have this upsell. And if they don't take that upsell, then do a downsell. And then if they don't take that downsell, get them in this nurture series and have all these cross sells and blah, blah, blah. And my eyes just glaze over. Even though I'm super strategic and I've done tons and tons of funnels, just we don't need to start off there. We need to start off with getting people in the door, warming them up, and getting them to where we want them to be. So if that's getting them to your webinar, if that's selling them on a program or a product or a offer that you have, if that's getting them on the phone with you, whatever that simple, step is that you want, just figure out how to get them there in a simple, straightforward way, but while you're building relationships with them. All right. Reason number 4 that your funnel might flop. You're not testing. And again, this is why you want to keep it simple, because if it's too complicated, you won't even know what to test. So reason number 3 and 4 go together. So if you're not testing, you're never going to know what your funnel could be. So testing is vital to get your funnel up and running. So what do I mean by testing? I could do a ton of episodes just on testing, but if your funnel is just starting out, start by tracking just a few simple things to test, such as number 1, how many people go to your opt-in page? Just start with how many people are you even getting there? So if you go back to that analogy of the person on the street corner trying to get people to, pull in and come look at furniture in the furniture shop, how many people are pulling their car in and trying you out? Number 2, how many people actually opted in? So, if you have your lead magnet out there, if you're, running Facebook ads, how many people are clicking into your landing page, and how many people are actually giving you their email address? Now, and hopefully, if 100 people click over to your lead magnet, hopefully at least 20 of them give you their email address. I hope, it would be great if it was 40 or 60. That would be awesome, right? But what if you could test one thing on that opt-in page? For example, what if you could test a headline? What if you could have 2 versions of your landing page that are running, and on one version you have one headline and on a different version you have another headline. And all you're doing is seeing, okay, which headline works better. And you might be amazed. Maybe you're just changing one word in that headline or two words in that headline. One of them might perform significantly better, and you never would know that if you hadn't tested it. Or maybe you just change the button color. Like nothing else on the page changes. You just have two versions of your landing page, but one button is yellow and one button is green. And you might be amazed at how that button color can really make a difference. Or maybe you change the words on the button. Like you leave everything else on the page the same, but one button says download now and one button says I want it or give it to me or something like that. You can run some different tests depending on what your business is and what your, lead magnet is. And you will be amazed at how much insight you'll get not only into your audience, but also into what really works for your business. And that's why when people say, all right, so what really, really works well right now? And I'll say, we have to test because it varies audience to audience. I can tell you what works for my audience right now, but I'm always testing and you should always be testing too. So if you're not using something like ClickFunnels or Leadpages or, OptinMonster or OptimizePress or something like that makes it super easy to run a test and see if what you're testing makes your funnel better, then you really need to go to michellelevans.com/ClickFunnels to get your free trial so that you can start running tests that will make your funnels work better. All right, and then the last reason that your funnels might be flopping is that you're not tracking. This is a biggie. If you're not tracking your numbers, it's really time to start. You cannot throw up your hands and say, I hate tracking or I hate numbers, because if you don't know what's working or not working in your business, if you don't have any idea about your numbers, you're lost. Like you're just sunk. What you track really depends on your funnel, which again is why you want to keep your funnel simple. But in general, things you want to track include engagement rate, like open rates on your email, that kind of stuff, call to action, click-through rates, conversion rates on your landing pages, things like that. If you don't track these things, there is literally no way to know if your funnel is working or not. And once you start tracking, you may find out that there is just one or two small little tweaks that you need to make in your funnel so that it's working really, really well. Now, it doesn't matter how simple or complex your sales process is. You can build a simple strategic funnel that converts. The easiest way is to steal my pre-created funnels and training by taking the marketing funnel quiz. Once you discover the power in marketing funnels to warm up your audience and help them see you as the person they want to buy from, you're going to wonder why you ever wasted time just randomly doing marketing. Instead, you're going to know exactly how to build a tribe of buyers who know you, trust you, and want to buy from you. Want to know which marketing funnel is right for you and your business? Well, I've created a totally free and easy quiz to help you figure that out. Head on over to today's show notes at themarketingfunnelshow.com/15, and in less than 5 minutes, you're going to know exactly which funnel is right for you, and you'll get some free video training to tell you exactly how to start using that. All right, stay tuned for our next episode where I'm going to go even deeper into getting marketing funnels working for your business. Talk soon.